Hey everybody, it's Ed Connerkey back with Connerkey's Money Corner. Hey, something came up, and this comes up regularly, but personally we saw it, my wife and I talk to clients about this probably about 4 or 5 times a week easily, because when I see a bank statement for a client, I can see if they use a debit card for purchases. So I want to tell you a really quick story of what happened to my wife and I, what I've been preaching about, so I saw it firsthand. My wife and I recently, while we were traveling, we went to a coffee shop and paid for our purchase, and then they said, well, there was a problem when it rung up. We have to ring it again. No problem. And we just kept our receipts to be sure. Well, sure enough, when we got our monthly statement, we got double charged. And I can't tell you how easy it was to pull up the credit card website and just click the dispute button, and immediately after I hit send, it came back with a permanent credit immediately with a confirmation number. That's how easy it was to get that double duplicate charge off my credit. Now, why I tell this story is because when I see bank statements all the time, I see people using their debit card for purchases. So when I don't believe in that, and we don't recommend it. And here's the reason why, is because if that was our debit card now, we would have been out $35. And we would have to have documented and proved to get our $35 back. So in this example, I'm going to take it a step further and tell you that you should not, I repeat, you should not be using your debit card for purchases. Use a credit card. Yes, pay it off in full every month. We don't tell you to keep balances on that. We don't want you to keep balances on that because it's too expensive. But obviously, in this day and age where we fear debt and we've been programmed to say how bad credit cards are, a lot of people have then mistakenly thinking that means it's better to go to a debit card, which was like writing checks in the old days, and that's a better thing than putting money on credit cards. Well, obviously, either way, if it's a debit card or a credit card, don't spend money that you don't have, that you can't pay off in full each month. But now take that debit card that you used to put the charges on and stop doing that and put your charges on your credit card. Here's the reason why. When you use a credit card, you have zero liability. The credit card company was liable for that double charge that happened, not us. We didn't have to worry about losing any money because I haven't even written a check yet for those charges to the credit card company. It was all handled seamlessly and within seconds. And even if there was an error or something maliciously done on the other end, we're not liable for it because of the zero liability with credit cards. You cannot say the same thing for a debit card. Unfortunately, with a debit card, that $35 charge that was duplicated would be our responsibility to have to now go back and prove that to get our money back. We would have lost our money in that case and then have to worry about getting it back. I had a client, unfortunately, that this happened to, where fraudulently her debit card was, when she went to use it the right way, someone duplicated it and then turned around and withdrew $2,000 from her account. And she had to go through hoops to get that money back. It was not the liability of the bank, it was the liability of her now, and she was out the money in the meantime while she was fighting to get it back. And this is the main premise of why we say don't use debit cards for purchases. Use credit cards and only use them, but pay them off each month. And the icing on the cake here is the rewards that you get. Today, every credit card out there offers some type of reward, if that's miles or cash back or points. And at the same time, too, you're borrowing somebody else's money for 30 days. So obviously when you use a debit card, it's out of your account today. When we use our credit card, we're using the credit card and not having to pay a bill for another 30 days. So we're using somebody else's money for free. We're paying it off in full, so there's no interest on it, and we're getting the rewards back. And on top of it, we have the protection because of the zero liability, so that we have a wall between our money. Now, obviously, using a debit card, you don't have that wall. That money, if it's stolen or taken or double charged or compromised, you lose that money immediately and have to prove yourself innocent to dispute it and get your money back. So today, let me tell you this, go against conventional wisdom. Do not use your do not use your debit card for purchases. Use your credit card. The only thing you should be using your debit card for is when you get cash out of your ATM. And make sure at that point there's no skimmers on there either. They're trying to get us every way. Make sure you use your credit card to protect yourself, zero liability, and have a wall of defense between you and your money. Hope this helps. Talk to you next time on Connerkey's Money Corner.